Well, good morning everyone, this is George Bayruthi from FS Securities giving you the overnight report for Friday morning the 14th of November. FS Securities is a stockbroking firm located on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. A bit more about the company later in this presentation. But let me start with the disclaimer. Obviously everything I say here is for general advice and general information only. We recommend that before you take any action, please consult with your professional advisor or talk to us directly. A copy of this disclaimer is available to you should you wish to receive it with just one phone call away. We'd like to highlight that amongst the various things that we do, we also offer our clients a very attractive interest rate of 7% for 1 year or 9% over 3 years, interest paid monthly. Let me start with the data from overnight. We wake up this morning, we see that the Dow was up 40 points or 0.2%. However, the S&P 500 was hardly changed from previous day. In actual fact, it stalled around the 2039.38 for a number of days, approximately 4 or 5 days. Is it a question where it's now reaching a very strong resistance and cannot break through it? Only time will tell. In Europe, the Stockmarket 50 index that comprises several European major markets was up by 0.3% to 3,056. In London, the FTSE 100 index was down 0.4%. In Japan, the Nikkei index continued to rally and went up by another 1.4%. This is now exceeding the 7-year high and finished at 17,394. In China, the Shanghai index went the other way and was down by 0.6% to 2,579. On the commodities, gold a short time ago was trading at 1,162, that's US per ounce, unchanged from this time yesterday. Silver at $15.60, down 5 cents overnight. Oil at $74.30 per barrel, down $2.50 or nearly 4%, and that's one of the lowest levels for many months. Copper, the world's economic barometer, was down 1.2% to 298 cents per pound. And iron ore, which is important for our miners such as BHP, Rio, Atlas Iron and Fortescue, was steady at 75.5 US a ton. On the currencies, our dollar is now 87.1 US cents and will exchange for 69.8 euro cents. And these of course are intra-banks rates, so if you walked into the bank today, obviously you're going to get a bit less than that. On our market yesterday, we've seen it falling to its 4th straight day of losses as energy stocks and the big banks weighed on the index, led by Westpac after Chief Executive Gail Kelly flagged her exit. The benchmark ASX 200 index dropped 20 points or 0.4% to 5,443. The best performers amongst the leaders, Westfield and Rio, both up by 0.5%. Although this is a very small rise, however, on a day with a sea of red, this was actually showing the best performers. That's of course amongst the leaders. The worst performer, on the other hand, was Santos. Amongst the leaders, that is, was down 2.3%, followed by AMP down 1.4%. The best sector was mining, up 0.3%, and the worst sector was energy, due to the fall in the price of oil. Local stocks are poised to open slightly lower. The SPI futures contract was about between 3 points up or 3 points down, depends on what you read. However, it looks like it's going to open flat. On the economic news that may affect our market, we have tonight the US retail sales and consumer sentiment that obviously will have some bearing on the US market. We still think that we are still very positive about the American market. We're reasonably positive about the British market, however not so confident about the rest of Europe. Alright, nothing major coming out in announcement from Australia. However, now we look at what our analysts put out on the web. That's during the week we put several picks and trades. Yesterday our analyst has added CSR, and this will be transmitted to you by email. If you haven't got your name on our email database, it's time for you to call us and we'll include you. And by the way, what you see on the screen is only a summary of the positions. A more detailed information can also be found on the website. And if you're not a member, if you're not a subscriber to our website, we suggest that you subscribe on a 15-day free trial and see everything that we offer, from recommendations, scans, charts, even our trades and our results are shown on the website. Okay, every day we update the market volume to show the trend over the last 3 weeks. We also like to show the ratio of advances to declines. It really shows the strength of the momentum and how the buyers and sellers interact. I believe this is one of many ways to understand the trend of the market. Again, this chart is available on our market report that we send out to our subscribers, and of course we place on the website. What you see here, in the last 2, 4, 5 days, the volume has been declining. From early in the week we had a volume of over 1.9 billion transactions per day, and yesterday was slightly above 1.5, and amongst the last 5 days it's been down further every day. On the advances to declines, we have more declines than advances the last 3 days. Yesterday we had 42% of all the shares that traded they have actually in the declining side, and only 32% advanced. So when we see low volume or decreasing volume and more of declining, it really says that the big players are not out in the market dumping shares, which is a good sign. And by the way, we predict that the market between now and Christmas is expected to rise. Of course, there will be some hiccups every now and then, like we've seen in the last couple of days. This week actually the market has dropped by 2%, and that could be healthy to pick up steam perhaps in the next few weeks, all the way to the Christmas rally that we expect year after year. Of course there is no guarantee, however this has been a trend in previous years. We also like to show you the companies that have performed well over the last few days. Okay, we have Transurban Group had reasonable volume with up 0.2%. AMP went down 1.38%, and you can see the rest of the company. By the way, Qantas is performing very well thanks to the price of oil. Of course, the cost of oil is a major cost for airlines, and due to the fact that the price of oil is declining, this is very positive for Qantas. And Qantas yesterday was up 2.6% and reached 1.78. This is a reasonable high level, considering that Qantas was just above $1 recently. So that's nearly a 70% rise for Qantas in the last few months. Alright, we also like to give you a snapshot. We have Medusa Mining up 5% yesterday, Sirius Resources 4%, Paladin Energy. Oh, by the way, Japan has actually announced that is now moving in a big way in nuclear power stations, reopening the nuclear power stations. The United Kingdom is also now announced this morning that they intend to continue their projects in nuclear power stations, and that's the reason why we see several Australian mining companies that produce uranium that have actually been pushed up in the last few days, few weeks. Paladin is one of them. We have several clients who trade Paladin at the moment. So it's nice to see Paladin coming out from the grave, because Paladin was hit so hard in the last several years. Apart from that, on the negative side, we see Monadelphous. This is a company that relies very heavily on major mining projects. It was down 3%. 7 West Media down 3%. Horizon Oil 3.3%. Arium, which is actually iron ore producer, was down 3.5%, and so on. Alright, let me finish off with the sectors to tell you again, once again, looking at this chart, we see that which sector has performed well and which one hasn't. Amongst the very few sectors that are not painted red on the screen, we have gold and the healthcare slightly up. Going all the way down, nothing really major pushed up. Metal and mining was up 0.4%. That looks like it's the best sector. Very weak at the moment, however, it really was the best performer yesterday. In terms of the worst performers, going down that column here, on the red side, we have energy down 1.2%. I think that's the worst sector. Alright, let me finish off by telling you who I am. My name is George Beiruthi. I'm the director here at FS Securities. As you can see, I have many years of trading and investment experience and several qualifications to support what I offer my clients. My ambition today is to help our clients and prospective clients to become effective investors and traders. The company, well, we are a fully licensed stockbroking firm. We trade shares, options, commodities, CFDs, foreign exchange, and offer our clients the attractive interest that we offered you that I mentioned earlier in my presentation. We are also financial planners and cater for all your financial needs. How to reach us? Well, the phone call, you can call the landline 61 for Australia if you ring from overseas, 7 for Queensland, 5630 4141. I am contactable 7 days a week on my mobile. That's the number appearing on the screen. We can also write to me at george@fssecurities.com.au, and the website. We encourage you to join us for a 15-day free trial and see everything that we offer, from information to education to recommendations as well. So that's all from us. Have a nice day. We'll be back at 1:15 this afternoon to tell you what happened during the morning in our market, and of course that will be recorded and placed on the website. Have a nice day.